Okay. Good morning, people. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, we're meeting after a long time, and there have been reasons. Obviously, we were supposed to be meeting in an offline mode. However, you finished your exams, and the schedule for the 12th standard offline exams was put up. As a consequence, for you must have obviously read the notice that in all these contexts, this month we are going to have uh, online lectures. Practicals, however, are being conducted offline. FYBA does not have any direct connection with practicals as such. Um, where should I start from? Well, mm, yeah, first things first, a few things that I would like to remind you all, just in case any one of you all has problems with, is that last week or last to last week, we had posted your marks, your internal assessment marks, which was the continuous evaluation that we conducted, and to that we added your MCQ marks. There were a few issues wherein students did message me saying that their marks were missing, and then these were verified and corrected. What I mean to say here is that there could be a possible error from our side as well. So please check your marks, particularly those which we have allotted you as far as your continuous evaluation is concerned, because there is where there was a bit of error that was seen to be that uh, due to human errors, I would say, your separate assignment marks were not marked or the total was not right and so on and so forth. So please confirm that. And there were issues as far as your internal MCQ internal also is concerned. Some students had a zero, and they did tell me that they had attempted the test, but then they did not get the marks. Initially, I thought that it was possibly a technical error. So I, on a personal level, did contact the exam department, and they said that the system is such that if you are switching your accounts once you have started your exam, or you are seen to be, because it's a proctored exam, if you are seen to be fidgeting with things here and there, you would be given a warning, and after subsequent number of warnings, your paper gets submitted, and you get a zero on that. So I would like to remind you all on that, those lines also. Another important thing that I would like to advise you all, because I'm no authority to speak on that, I would just like to advise that given the fact that 12th standard exams are happening offline, and given the fact that the third wave is on an ebb, and further given the fact that not many infections are taking place recently, it is very much possible that your second semester end exams would, in all possible ways, be conducted in an offline mode. And that it's going to be in an offline mode would also mean that it is going to be in a subjective mode. I understand the difficulty with students who, for the last 2 years, have been doing all this in an online mode. But as I said, that there is all possibility that we would be required to evaluate you all in an offline mode. So start preparing. If you have lost your habit of writing, see that you start practicing that, and so on and so forth. It's not going to be as easy, I would say, as far as MCQs is easy in the sense I'm not referring to the various techniques that students attempt at. It's basically the practice that you have missed out on writing for a significant number of hours. And of course, reading in such a way that you would be able to write in that particular aspect or in that particular structure. If we flash back into what we had done in the first semester of your course, If you remember the very first lectures that we conducted online, we said that your paper in geography in first year is divided into two parts. These two parts, one of those parts has already been completed in the first semester, and the second part is going to be attempted at in the second semester. About the first part, we spoke about the fact that uh, physical geography, the natural part of geography, the introduction, of course, then the solid part of the earth, the liquid part of the earth, and of course, the gaseous part of the earth as such. We spoke about contemporary values, etc., around these things. And if you remember in the introduction in the first semester, we're going to do it again, but then uh, a partial aspect of it has already been done in the first semester. However, this is a new semester, a new paper in the same subject that we are starting with. Having said that, say the broad title of this particular semester is going to be human geography. Now, I keep on repeating that physical geography and human geography, both of them are two sides of the same coin. Both of them are so much related to each other. But we need to understand what are the basic differences between, uh, say uh, what we have learned in physical geography and what we are going to learn as a part of our human geography syllabus as such. Um, you may have done this. In fact, those who are from the CBSE pattern and you have been using the NCRT textbooks and have had geography in your uh, junior college as well, will be known to what human geography is. Of course, they may have read up few physical geography also. And by now, you may have realized that though we are repeating uh, what we had done in our earlier geography classes, the level at which we are taking or rather studying this is obviously a bit higher than what we have understood it at our earlier classes. Today's lecture is going to be a bit of ice breaking uh, into what we should be doing, and I would in fact like you contributing to this lecture more. And I would start with a question that when I say that, okay, we are going to do human geography this particular semester, what all do you understand? Okay, I will give you inputs, but uh, at a very blank point, let us start with a question wherein what is your idea about human geography? What do you possibly think we are going to be studying as far as human geography is concerned? You can unmute yourself and you can just chip in your answers. I will note down those answers and let us see how much of them match to the actual requirement of the question as such. Yeah, so I'm waiting for your answers.
Sir, study of human environment.
He says human environment. Okay. You mean
So,
human beings and environment or human environment together?
Human beings with environment.
Human beings with environment. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
so
Somebody
it
else.
is similar to this, like it is the interdisciplinary relationship between the physical environment and human beings. It is the study of this.
Physical environment and human beings. I think you are referring to the earlier point. Uh, I don't know. I'm not in a position to read your comments. So those who are commenting will just unmute themselves and of course those who have raised their hands also can unmute themselves and add in their opinions or observations.
So, human geography is the synthetic study of relationship between human societies and Earth's surface.
Relationship between human societies and Earth's surface. Okay. If you are listening to this carefully, you'll see that all the three observations are very close to each other. Yes, some more.
So, and one more thing I wanted to add is,
Yes.
in this environment, human beings contribute human beings modifies this environment to make it comfortable for them, so they uses the natural resources. So it's a similar kind of, just an example for that.
Yes, yes. It's as she early said, this is physical geography plus human geography, and the modification that is being brought about by human beings in their immediate environment, I would say. Yeah. Any further additions?
Sir, may I?
Yeah. Go ahead, Chandralekha.
Human geography is the study of the changing relationship between the unresting man and unstable earth.
Changing relationship, unresting man. These are very good words used. Unresting man and an unstable earth. Okay. Yeah, any additions before we go into details of what we have got in as answers from your side?
Sir, may I?
Yes, yes, Mauli.
Study of human behavior or human activities for, from place to place. Various place to place, from country to country, and people to people.
Okay, okay. Uh, well, when we look at, see, in many cases, when I look at what you have, yeah, Abuzar,
Sir, it's also a study. There is also a study of human settlements.
human settlements. Okay, as you think more, I see that you are getting more into the core understanding of human geography, because you'll see that when we spoke about, when I initially started the discussion, the answers that were it's the study of human beings with the environment. It's physical geography as well as human geography, relationship between human systems and environmental systems, the modifications. Somewhere I would say that these definitions go more as general definitions of geography rather than specific definitions of, I won't say they're absolutely wrong, because you have given me a broader definition. If the definition is a broad one, obviously human geography will be a part and will fit in somewhere. But since, as I said already, that we have done uh, an important branch of geography in our first sem, and we say that we are going to do the next branch of it. And if you have been there for the lectures, very nice, differentiated between what was human geography and what is physical geography. Uh, you would have, in fact, the latter explanations or observations, as I said, are more nearer to what we study as human geography. Okay, you'll see that your faculty, the arts faculty, is also called as humanities. So irrespective of which four subjects you are studying of, all these subjects that we are actually doing in our faculty of arts are somewhere related to human geography. When I'm saying this, what is the possible meaning that we are deriving out of human geography? And okay, to make things a bit simpler, I would say that you in fact would ask yourselves questions that why are we not calling this as man geography? Why are we rather calling this as human geography? Any observations from your side?
Because human beings, human geography, I guess, includes all the genders like men, women. That's
Oh,
why it's
oh,
human
that's an
geography.
interesting observation. Yeah, yeah. But human also has man in it, right?
Yes, sir. That's why it's human. Both are included, men and women. It's not man geography, it's human geography.
I would say, yeah. Chandralekha also says that human has a vast thing, but uh, with reference and with due respect to your answers, I would say that when I said man, I was not definitely pointing at the say the genderistic opinion. Uh, I was rather referring to the fact as man as one part of various species on the surface, and human beings particularly I would say, with more reference to Homo sapiens. Now, when I say man and Homo sapiens, what difference can you think of is happening within these two terminologies? What makes man different to rest of the animals is a simpler question, I would say.
Sir, I think you are not just talking about the human population in general, but you are also talking about the less rest, all of the living beings uh, at the
Yeah,
same
I
time.
am, when I say man, I am referring to him being a component of all other things. But then uh, I want to bring you back to what should, in that case, human geography mean to us. And you have partially answered my question
So,
while you are.
population is
Yes,
not
yes.
part of human geography.
Okay, when you say human geography, the first thing that we need to do is to check. Okay, and as I said, I did ask you a question as to what makes man a bit different to other animals. Okay, not all. Many of the a few of the other species also do what human beings do, but yeah, what makes man or what has helped man in attaining the stage of civilization that he presently is in. And again, I would remind you to go into the other subjects of humanities and then try to find your answers into linking those subjects like history and economics and psychology and sociology to and philosophy as well, okay, to geography, and you'll get the answers to the question as to what is the difference between human geography and physical geography.
So if I'm not wrong, then it the answer is evolution of limbs. It's like one factor.
Evolution of limbs. Okay, now I would say uh, limbs in the sense you say forelimbs and hind limbs separated out from each other, right?
Yes.
But to say if I am to actually purposely contradict you, I would say that if you look at an horse, the forelimbs of a horse are different to its hind limbs as well. I think at some point of time in our earlier semester, I have actually highlighted on say the peculiarity of human beings as such. If you stress your mind hard, I think you should be getting to those points that I had mentioned in my earlier lectures as well. Okay, leave aside going into the theoretical part of it. Uh, Individually, okay, look at yourselves now instead of trying to think of on terms of Google and the theory that you have been doing in various subjects around you. You think of yourself and look at yourself and try to look at yourself and try to project as to why you are what you are. What are the things that have helped you? Later on, of course, we will speak about you. Someone did mention about how human beings modify the environment, but that's going to be at a later point. What has helped us to be at the stage of civilization that we are at to start with? I would say that could be one of the basic questions that we could start with and answering, trying to find an answer of what we should be studying in human geography as such.
So,
So I think we can think using our brains. Yes, sir. I
Okay.
think we can think differently from other animals.
Sakshi also has similar views. Yeah, any other inputs?
so
So
development
human
of
beings are
brain and
One at a time, please. Yeah. I'm noting down points so that we can come up with discussions. Yes. Yeah, please.
human beings are social animals.
Yes. Here is where I get one of the points that I'm looking for. I would put it in a longer context, saying that, and I would connect it to the thinking aspect of human being. I'll come to the biological aspect also. That possibly it is said that human beings are amongst the say he was as an animal, he was very early, rather in an early stage of evolution, he realized that physically he is nowhere a match for larger animals, and that could include carnivorous and herbivorous animals who had, say, huge amount of strength as compared to that. So to confront this, okay, to save himself from predators and to predate on other animals, it was advisable that he stayed together. So socialization, that is where the subject sociology comes into the picture here. That it a man felt that it was of utmost importance, uh, considering the weakness, okay, the physical strength I'm mentioning here, that he should stick together instead of living life individually. Yeah, that was a good point made. Uh, in continuation to that, I would rather say that we said about thinking capacity of man, and having said about this thinking capacity, I would also okay, I would also say that I don't know how somehow I feel that I have said this in our class earlier, but anyway, I'll repeat it for the benefit of the others as well. That at any point of time, okay, if you have done it till now, or if you have not done it till now, in yes, there is one more thing that he has used. Sakshi says that he's using money. Fine. Anyway, coming back to what I was referring to, if you at any point of time get to look at, to have a good look at a newborn baby, you'll see that the total um, physical appearance of that baby is very unique. In fact, you'll see that as against what you can see yourselves now. Okay, a newborn baby, this part of that baby makes one third of the whole body. The abdomen makes the next, and the limbs makes the third. So 33% approximately. Now, what biological implications that does it have? It means that this size, if it is one third, okay, and the material inside this, okay, which has helped us to come to this particular level, okay, the brain size that human beings have developed is not only enough to take care of the biological body, but then, as somebody did write it as well, that it makes human beings think, okay, and come out with solutions as such. So it makes human beings think beyond its biological needs and immediate environments as such. You'll see that as far as other animals are concerned, they are seen to spend most of their time actually finding food, or after having an sumptuous food, going into for reproductive purposes, because that is the call of the nature. You'll see that you'll not find a lion who will think of his son and his daughter, and you'll not find elephants who will have a government. Okay, they will have interpersonal relationships. They will Sadhnya Auti says other animals are not. I think the important, interesting comments are coming up. I will just read a few of them. Other animals are only do think about food, but human beings think about ideas, and they solve mysteries. Yes, yes, that's what I was coming to. That lions do not think about what is going to happen tomorrow, and a goat doesn't think as to why does the sun rise in the east and set in the west. Neither does a cow think that why is it that the days in the summer are long, and the nights in the winter, on the other hand, are long as such. Sakshi has earlier put a comment saying that human beings introduced money and performed cultural activities. Yes, culture. Okay, those who have sociology along with geography and other subjects as such, I would like you all to throw a bit more light on what exactly do we mean by culture as such. Sakshi, in an earlier message, says that emotions and brain capability is what makes us think as such. Okay, so this is say one of the primary reasons why we are at this stage of civilizations, that we have a larger brain as compared to the biological size. Okay, you'll see that in comparison to this, it is always said that elephant has, I think, if I'm not wrong, at least 3 times the size of the brain what a human beings have. A full-grown elephant has thrice the size of the brain of a human being as such. Does that make an elephant a more advanced animal than us? Yes, possibly going by the brain functionality, yes, it could be. But now again, when you compare the size of the brain to the size of the body to be controlled by the brain as such, there you'll see that human beings have an advantage over the size over an elephant when you come to the ratio of the brain size to the size of the body to be controlled by say the respective animal is concerned as such. Then I think Veda started with an interesting point saying that limbs as such. I would say, I would go further and say that, yes, limbs have made an important role. And in fact, you'll see the digits that we have on the limbs are so very important. You will not find an animal around you who would be using, has used this, okay, to such an extent. Okay, you'll see that the best development that you'll see is that animals are growing claws on this, and they will use those claws to defend themselves or to predate on others as such. Okay, if others could add on to my observation, I would be more than happy to receive those observations from your side. But you'll see that we in fact are in a habit of cutting nails. I'm not referring to girls who have very long nails, and of late I see that you have a very unique fashion that every nail is painted in a different color. And you'll see that it's not that a goat is going to paint its hoofs. It's not that a lioness is going to paint its nails into, or I would rather say claws, in different colors as such. Okay, so you'll see that this sense of beauty, aesthetics, that I want to do this, I need to do that, it comes from a process of thinking as such. Well, further, coming to the fact that you have a palm that you can use. Okay, you'll see that, keeping aside of the fact that we are doing human geography, we are still going, and we have still not entered the context of geography. But unless and until we understand what advantage a human body has over the other animals and how it takes advantage of that to connect, I won't say modify, to connect with the environment around it, we would not be in the best positions to identify say what exactly is the purview of human geography as such. Okay, you'll see that, look at every possible small organs that we have. Say, for example, I'm looking at this palm, at this hand of mine, and you'll see that I have these 4 fingers together, and I have this which I can use. And you'll see that though it's one of the smallest fingers as far as the length is concerned, you'll see that it is going to help. Okay, you'll see that I can just do this with my fingers using a thumb as such. Okay, in fact, you'll see that say further on, as far as sign language is concerned, you will not find a camel who's going to wave at another camel and saying, okay boss, it's done for today, we've had our water, and for the next month we are not going to need much water as such. Or a rabbit will not wave to others saying that, okay, I'm safe now, I've reached home safely, and so on and so forth. To an extent that nowadays you'll see that many emojis are if you just open your WhatsApp or Facebook and go into those emojis as such, I would say you would at least have 25, 30 emojis which without any face or anything, which would help you, say for example, doing this and doing this, and doing this, and you have something for peace also, and of course then clapping together, and all those emotions that come out. It's all basically because we have a very developed forelimb as such. Okay, you have a split between these two, and that is how I can use this in a way to express myself in a standardized format. Standardized in the sense, if I'm going to write in English, that's going to be available to a certain number of population which understands English as such. If I'm going to write in Marathi, there are going to be limitations, but then I'm going to have my clientele as such. In English, or sorry, Bengali, or Malayali or Tamilian or Kannada, all of these scripts came into being because of this aspect of the hand as such. Okay. Uh, you'll see that coming to pushing of it or lightening of a fire, etc. You'll see that you just keep on thinking as to what advantages this arrangement has given to you. You'll just come up with the fantastic, I would say, the period of evolution as human beings, as animals have experienced over the period of time. At times, yes, we are undoing a lot of things and harming the nature. But uh, to start with human geography, I would not start on a negative note, and that's I would keep that for us some other day as such. Now, the second thing is the very fact that we are able to see into each other. Now, if you have ever seen a crow, or if you have ever seen a sparrow, if you have ever seen any other bird as such, okay, the eyes of these birds, you can see that these are on either sides as such. If you have seen a crocodile, and even if you have not seen, you must have seen a picture of a crocodile or an elephant or a cow. Okay, try to imagine these, and now try to compare your eyes with the arrangement of biological arrangement of eyes that it has, that these animals have, and what is the possible advantage that we tend to have over other animals as such. I think I've spoken about this earlier. If you can recollect, you can just give me my answer.
So cow has
We can see in 180 degree because our eye is in front of in front of our face and not the either side.
Okay, and any further additions? What physical advantage, what advantage out of physics that we have because of this arrangement? In fact, there are animals who have a 360 vision.
Sir, they don't
Yes, Abuzar. Yeah, somebody was making a point.
We can focus on a point
Uh, and
um, because our eyes in front of our face, we can focus in a point and not
yes,
and
Chandralekha
not
says
yeah.
parallax angle. What does that make? It makes us beautiful. Oh, that's a very good observation, but we are still in this basic science of aesthetics. So we'll come to, and I think beauty is in the eyes of the beholder rather than making comments as such. Do you mean to say that a whale is not a beautiful animal? Is it that because of this arrangement, human beings are the most beautiful animals on this planet? Okay. Have you seen a butterfly, and have you counted the number of eyes that a butterfly has? Only making a tangent statement, I would say. I'm not actually meaning to it. But then Chandralekha made a point saying that it gives us parallax. Now, what does this parallax and physics and our arrangement have to do?
so
Yeah.
so can I add something?
Yes, please.
So, if I remember in earlier lecture, you told that our eyes has a triangle kind of vision. So when those both the eyes triangle vision get mixed with each other, we can see all 180-degree angle. But if we consider eyes of cows, they have either means like the side of their face, they have eyes, so that triangle angle cannot be mixed with each other, so they could only see sideways.
Okay. Now, she has confused herself a bit, I would say. She has given me 70% of my answer. Uh, I think I did ask you all to perform this experiment in the earlier lecture when I spoke about this again, that wherever you are sitting right now, you could hold your head still and look to one corner of your eye. Okay, say for example, right now I'm looking to my right corner, and try to take hold or catch hold of any object that is near to you. You'll see that it is not easy. Let us try doing it at the left side. If I take my eyes to the left corner, and I try to do the same thing. I'm not easily able to hang on to things using my hand as such. Chandralekha has given us, yeah, she's using terms from physics, I would say. I'll try to put it in a more simpler way as such. Now, why does this happen that I'm looking at the right corner and yeah, this is a very good information from Sadhnya. She's given me the megapixels of human eyes as such. Okay. Uh, Very interesting comments coming up in the comments box. I would advise students to keep an eye on the comments as well. Coming back to the fact that the very fact that if I'm going to do to one corner or the other corner of my eye, the difficulty that I experience in handing out or holding on to things is basically because when I'm looking to my extreme right, my right eye is actually concentrating on things or what I see towards the right, and when I'm doing the same thing towards the left side, it's my left eye which is concentrating on that. Now, the fact that I am not able to easily catch at it is basically because of the fact that I'm using only one eye. If I'm looking into this particular direction, now I come to the point as to what Veda was making. Okay, my eyes go, okay, this is the vision of my eyes. This is the vision of my eyes. Okay, so I'm looking at this, and when I bring these, this is one eye, this is the second eye. When I bring them together, they will overlap. Okay, and it is going to be this wish, this V. Okay, this V. Okay, if I bring in the absolute V, then this extreme right and this extreme left is going to be the issue where is going to be the problem that I had when I'm holding on to things. But this central V is what makes me look at things in a proper way. Now, when I say proper way, what am I actually saying? Okay, you'll see that now you try the same thing, look straight and try to hand on to things, okay, or to touch things that are in front of you. You'll see that it is much, much easier as compared to doing it towards the extremes of your vision as such. That's basically because we have in this view, this we putting them together. This V is what Chandralekha was referring to, the parallax as such. This gives us a sense of the third dimension. Okay, we are able to gauge the depth of what we are seeing. Okay, you'll see that human beings initially, and it is this depth that human beings, this aspect of vision, human beings acquire over a period of time. Okay, I can say this basically because if you have seen young toddlers at some point of time and you try to throw something to them, okay, normally we play with them with balls and we try to throw them balls. You'll see that many a times, or you call them and they are supposed to be climbing down a stair or climbing up a few stairs as such. You see that they fumble with the understanding of the height, depth, the speed at which ball is coming, the direction in which the ball is coming to them. That's basically because you'll see that in the earlier years, of human beings, when they are toddlers, you'll see that they don't have this sense of 3D vision. The sense of 3D vision comes to us over a period of time. It does not, we are not born with a sense of 3D vision. We actually develop this sense of 3D vision as such. So this aspect, and you'll see that I have said this earlier also, that it is this very thing that is used in what is called as stereophonic sound. Okay, if you are sitting in this V, if I have one loudspeaker, if I have the second loudspeaker, and I place them at an angle, okay, and I sit at this intersection, I sit between this intersection, I would get what is called a stereophonic sound. Now, stereophonic is a very old dated technique, I would say, but if I apply that to the surround sound systems as such, now what we have nowadays, that we can hear when you go to these theaters and we hear a helicopter here and we hear water flowing at this level, and I hear someone calling me from this side, or someone a dog barking from this side, is basically because of this particular arrangement as well. Okay, as far as our ears are concerned, so it is this stereophonic arrangement that human beings are able to adjust to, that have given them another advantage as such. I'm just highlighting a few things. There could be a long list of things that have made human beings comparatively advanced, I won't say superior, comparatively advanced as compared to the other animals as such. And the third thing that I always explain to the students when I say, when I reason out the reasons of making man a bit advanced as compared to other animals is concerned, is bipedal motion. Now, what do I mean by bipedal motion? What is bipedal? Sadhya says in an earlier comment, 576 megapixels, human eye. Prachi says stereopsis, right. See, stereopsis, right. I am not known to this term. If Prachiti can unmute herself and throw light on what exactly stereopsis, right, means, all the whole class would be very much thankful to her. And at the same time, please keep on thinking on my basic question: what is bipedal mean? Yes, Veda says walking on two legs, as compared to majority of the other animals who have legs, limbs as they are called. Human beings are amongst the very few who actually walk on four legs. Okay, the very fact that we, in fact, this should have come as an earlier point of discussion, that it's basically because of the fact that we are bipedal, that these two limbs were freely available for human beings as far as evolution process is concerned. And after he started developing these two, the further process led to splitting of this into further useful arrangements, I would rather say, because he could now move on two legs. He could use this to catch, to throw, to kill, to shout in a particular way, using physics in this particular way. Okay, and as I said, making those various emojis and so on and so forth to communicate, and of course to think about, okay, and to concentrate. Okay, as I said, to blow your nose, you'll not see a lion doing this, or you'll not see an elephant doing this as such. Okay, you'll see that these are a few exclusive. So many things are come so much naturally to us, but these are unique things done by living organisms. Every organism has its uniqueness in this whole system of plant and animal kingdoms as such. Yes, Veda, you are to make a point. You've raised your
So,
hand. Yeah.
so with this all points, we can add one more, that we are able to speak than other animals.
Uh, I would take that as a point, but then I would say that we are able to say decipher the way we make noises rather than speaking. I would say we make noise at different variations, and that has helped us in communication. We have developed languages, and that has helped us. It is not that other animals don't do it. Yeah, exactly. Sakshi says that the same thing. Every animal has their own language to speak. Other animals can speak, but we have our own. But they have their own. I would say accent as such. I would say it's more of the style in which they communicate, the so-called vibrations at which they generate their communication. Prachiti is now referring to something I would be interested in reading out. No, I was just asking, stereopsis is the name of the process, right? Like in short, it just allows us to understand. Okay, okay. Stereopsis. Okay. So 3D vision in technical terms is called as stereopsis. Thank you very much. That was something that I have added to my vocabulary today onwards. Thank you very much.
So,
Yeah,
so a question arose in my mind,
yes,
that when we speak with each other, we know what we are speaking.
yeah.
Likewise, many animals have different sounds and the way
Yeah.
they speak. So, are they able to communicate with each other? But different animals I'm talking about, like cat with dog.
Um, well, I would say that just like based on language. Okay, I would bring this to the human scenario, the diversity at which human beings are. You'll see that a Marathi individual may not say, or an Indian may not be able to understand what Africans are speaking as such. Similarly, you'll see that animals within themselves may have. I'll come to that. I'll just come to you, Prachiti. Just let me explain this. That just like you'll see animals, they may have their own association within them, but they always will also have some common things which they can reflect into other species also. Say for example, when a dog frowns like this, okay, you'll see that everyone knows that the dog is angry as such. Okay, it doesn't have to tell people that I am angry. Okay, so this sign language is enough. Okay, you'll see that a snake hisses at you, that shows that a snake is angry as such. Even a cat will do so as such. Okay, you'll see that many of us do have pets. So if you are petting your cat, and you'll see that if he or she is liking it, they will make a peculiar sound that is called as a purr, purr. Or even a dog, you'll see that if you are petting your dog, and if it is liking it, okay, it will immediately show in its body language. Okay, you'll see that body language is an important means of communication. And that is how you'll see that animals say come towards each other. Different species of animals come towards towards each other, or they stay away each other at the call, or at a moment of frown against each other as such. So that is what I wanted to make a point about speech as such. Okay, a more say in-depth analysis of speech is something which is different, and we would have a common thing, some common indications against each other. Okay? And within human beings also, you'll see that when I'm doing this, every all human beings on this planet will know what exactly I am doing. When I'm doing this, everybody will know I'm doing this. People will know that I need a drink. Now, that drink again would vary from water to alcohol to soft drink, but then this means drink. Okay, these are some common things. But if I go in front of an elephant and do this or do this, an elephant will not understand. Okay, but if I do this to if I take a stone and I just do this action to a dog, it will run away. Yeah, coming back to Prachiti had raised her hand, and I would like to hear from her.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes.
I wanted to mention ki I think ki even if animals don't have a particular language per se, they are still very highly advanced in communicating. Like if you ever observe them, um, all all animals mark their territory with either urine or their scratching. That is a communication ka part. And in insects like butterflies or even bees, they have this smell called pheromones. And like during the sexual activity, or even if when they have to make their own groups, or their close friends or whatever you can call them, that time they release that pheromones. Like that is what happens when you break a beehive, because that one single bee that might die because of you, the pheromones are released and the whole beehive comes behind you. So
Exactly.
I think with evolution, like even when a monkey sees a tiger, it gives an alarm call, and other animals react to that. So I think that is a pretty advanced level of communication within interspecies.
Exactly. This was a very good observation as far as interspecies communication is concerned. And as I said, and we have used this word advancement. Okay, I would say advancement as a dictionary word would have different references amongst different species, and she has given us various examples as this. So it's a matter of what part of your sense is developed in the process of evolution. If you belong to a particular species, some animals will hear well, some animals will see well, some animals will speak out well, some animals will smell well, and so on and so forth. So nature has endowed every species with some advantage, uh, and it is using this particular advantage that that particular species makes its presence felt in the ecosystem. It could be in the negative sense, it would be in the positive sense also. But again, this negativity and positivity is again related to something in human geography that man looks at these animals. Okay, you'll see, uh, we call it negative, but for nature, it may not be negative. It could be, in fact, some source of life, or some source of existence itself to that particular organism or that particular species as such. It has been very interesting 50 minutes that we have been speaking to each other. Uh, I was initially thinking that I would take this up only for one lecture, but I feel that this is growing very interesting. Prachiti says elephants have the most complex and the advanced communication. Yes, human scientists are yet to decipher all these various connects that animals have within themselves and interspecies, the word used by Prachiti as well. Anyway, as I said that we have exhausted our 50 minutes of discussion for the day. I was initially thinking that I would start with this and I would switch on to geography, but I feel a lot more needs to be discussed as a matter of interaction. Yeah, she also further says they can literally communicate for 12 to 15 kilometers as well. We need to look into more of these aspects. The more we look into, the more specialized we could think of when we actually move into human geography as such. For now, we will stop here for the day. And when we meet tomorrow, by the way, uh, uh, tomorrow we may not have our 7 o'clock lecture. I would be morning lecture. I would only confirm it in the evening. Please ask me in the evening today. But we'll definitely have a 9:30 lecture. So I'll be stopping the recording here. And
So attendance.